the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and on the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who will, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. And Shalom to 144,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah from the GMS Denver camp, doing a quick news update, man. Recent news, and it ties right into biblical prophecy. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's break this down. All right, this is talking about none other than America, aka Babylon the Great. Okay. All right, that horn is talking about America. You see, and it says his look was more stout than his fellows, man. And that's how America portrays itself amongst its allies. You see, America has been pretty much a, how should I say this? A country that's been in for its own interests and pretty much, you know, put its allies on the back burner. And now that's evident more than ever with Donald Trump being in office. All right, he's definitely bringing this prophecy to the forefront, but it's going to lead unto the destruction of America, Babylon the Great. And I'm going to show you in just a second. I'll play a quick news clip. Actually, before we play that news clip, I want to bring this up. This is Daniel 7 and verse 20 in the GNT, the Good News Translation. All right, so this division, it says, and I wanted to know about the 10 horns on his head. All right, and that represents, you know, NATO and the EU. All right. It says, and the horn that had come up afterward and had made 3 of the horns fall. And those 3 horns that fell is talking about Britain, Spain, and France. Okay. It had eyes and a mouth and was boasting proudly. It was more terrifying than any of the others. And that's America for you, man. Very proud. Very proud, man. It boasts against even its own allies. So let's get that news article really quick. All right, so here's the article right here from Global News. And this is February 1st, 2025. This just came out an hour ago. It says Trump tariffs to hit Canada on Tuesday. Let's check this out.
Global National. Reporting tonight, Carolyn Jarvis.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. After weeks of threats, speculation, and preparation, the United States has now set the stage for a multilateral trade war. The White House confirming tonight that a 25% tariff on Canadian imports will take effect on Tuesday. The Trump administration has communicated its intentions with the Canadian government, saying the crippling levy will be imposed on virtually all goods traveling south, the exception being Canadian energy products, oil and natural gas, which will face a 10% tariff instead. Mexico and China are also in the crosshairs, each being hit with 25% and 10% tariffs, respectively. And you're looking at a live shot inside the West Block on Parliament Hill, where Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is set to speak. And what Canadians are waiting to hear from him is, how will our country respond? Mackenzie Gray is following all of these developments from Ottawa. Mackenzie.
Canada is poised to enter into its biggest trade war in our country's history, Carolyn, with Donald Trump following through on his tariff threats that he's promised for months.
An ally does not do this to an ally, so we have to assume that the United States is not an ally for Canada anymore.
It's not something you'd expect a friend to do.
Do you hear that? You hear that, man? This is biblical prophecy playing out just as a Bible states it will play out, man. We have the true book of prophecy, and the Lord has sent the prophets to let you know what's going down, man. And it's prophesied that America will, be at odds with its own allies, and that's going to lead to its downfall. Okay, so this whole thing with Donald Trump going berserk in office, signing all these damn executive orders and shit, and now he's putting tariffs on his allies. I believe Mexico as well. Okay, the border countries. So, man, this is gonna be interesting, man. So let's get a few more precepts. All right, so here we have the book of Obadiah. All right, verse 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy, and that word confederacy means, allies. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. All right, you see that? They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. You see, so all the allies of America are eventually going to turn against the U.S., man. All right, because America is Esau's, powerhouse. Okay, so this is letting you know, man, that hey, this prophecy is on point, man. And at some point in the near future, all right, after the mark of the beast is made mandatory, which is the RFID microchip, you can expect nuclear missiles to be launched at America by its own allies, because America has done nothing but pretty much fuck over its own allies. And it's, and Donald Trump is definitely forwarding that sentiment of fucking over his own allies. So, hey, man, they gonna fight back. All right, it's gonna end in nuclear war, man, and America being destroyed completely. That's the prophecy. That's what's gonna happen. That's how America is gonna be taken out. And you can expect America's allies right now making all kind of backdoor deals and plans with different nations to conspire against America. That's why it says they have laid a wound under thee, and there is none understanding in him. It's gonna seemingly come out of nowhere. All right, get all these different countries talking about pulling away from the American dollar and whatnot, because America is going to be ostracized. All right, America and also the state of Israel are becoming the enemies of the world, man, more and more every day. And their demise is at hand, all according to the Lord's will. So let's play a little bit more of this.
Starting Tuesday, any Canadian goods sold to the U.S. will face a 25% tariff, except energy, which will be taxed at 10%. The reason the White House has given fentanyl. Canada has played a central role, including by failing to devote sufficient attention and resources or meaningfully coordinate with United States law enforcement partners to effectively stem the tide of illicit drugs. But the Americans' own numbers show that less than 1% of fentanyl coming to the U.S. comes from Canada, but that doesn't seem to matter to the White House.
Hold on.
Fentanyl.
Okay, Salaki, I had to stop it right here. Had to freeze frame it. All right, if you look up at the top, it says case number, and the first three numbers is 144. Hey, call Allah Yahbashim Yahushua, Lord willing. Hey, us men of that number. I just caught that. But anyway, Salaki, let's continue.
Comes from Canada, but that doesn't seem to matter to the White House. Fentanyl is so potent that even a small parcel of the drug can cause many deaths and destruction to American families.
And you know what? That whole fentanyl situation, okay, a lot of these damn Edomites are getting hooked on fentanyl, man, and dying. And, that's pretty much the curses coming upon our enemies. Because these damn Edomites, they put what in Jake neighborhoods? Crack, cocaine, all right, and different illicit drugs to destroy our communities. And now fentanyl is coming through the borders and fucking them up. So this is what comes to mind right here. Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And we're seeing that happening in these last days. All right. The Lord is putting these curses upon our enemies. All right. The tides are turning. Just want to bring that out. You know what I mean? Prophecy as well.
Buying that reasoning.
What's really disturbing when President Trump is using fentanyl as a reason, lumping us in with Mexico and China.
On CNN, Doug Ford promising Canada will punch back swiftly.
It's unfortunate. We don't want to do it.
Whoo, you hear that? You hear that? So there's a rivalry going on between these elites of Esau. That division. All right, matter of fact, let's get a precept on that, man. Hold on. So this is what comes to mind right here. Luke chapter 11, verse 18. Lord Yahweh Shai speaking, who they ignorantly call Jesus. And he says, if Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? All right, that's the point right there. All right. Satan is divided, man. These devils, all right, these Edomites, all right, they're the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, man. They move off of satanic energy. All right, they're influenced by Satan. And their kingdom is divided because it's coming to an end. The kingdom of heaven is getting ready to be established. All right, so that's why you see all the division between these Edomites and these different, nations and whatnot, because the Lord is dismantling the heathen rulership, starting with the rulership of Esau, Edom. Okay, they're divided, man. It's going to end in nuclear war. All right, so yeah, these are things that show you that it's heating up between America and its allies, man. These are signs of things to come.
We'd rather have a strong trading partner with the U.S.
The Prime Minister held a cabinet meeting, spoke with the premiers and the Mexican president. Tonight, he'll announce retaliatory tariffs. Details aren't clear, but some premiers are already outlining what they'll do. Nova Scotia and BC no longer buying U.S. alcohol for provincial stores.
We will never again allow ourselves to be beholden to the whims of one person in the White House.
But regardless of what the response is to the tariffs, it will be disastrous for the Canadian economy.
Well, there's about 55 production plants, auto assembly plants across North America. They will come to a halt.
Which Flavio Volpe believes will lead to hundreds of thousands of layoffs in the auto sector. But it's not just cars. The Bank of Canada has predicted layoffs in every part of the economy, a recession, and increased inflation once the tariffs come into place. Canadians swiftly showing how they feel. The American anthem loudly booed at tonight's Ottawa Senators.
There you go, man. Beautiful, beautiful.
On Canadian exports to the United States.
On Salakia. Start from the beginning.
Today, the United States informed us they will be imposing 25% tariffs on Canadian exports to the United States and 10% on Canadian energy. A decision that, should they elect to proceed with, should take effect on Tuesday, February 4th. Cette décision met en péril une relation économique historique. Une relation qui a été la source de tellement de richesses, de prospérité et de possibilités,
wealth and opportunities on both sides of the border.
Tonight, first, I want to speak directly to Americans, our closest friends and neighbors. This is a choice that, yes, will harm Canadians, but beyond that, it will have real consequences for you, the American people. As I have consistently said, tariffs against Canada will put your jobs at risk, potentially shutting down American auto assembly plants and other manufacturing facilities. They will raise costs for you, including food at the grocery stores and gas at the pump. They will impede your access to an affordable supply of vital goods crucial for U.S. security, such as nickel, potash, uranium, steel, and aluminum. They will violate the free trade agreement that the President and I, along with our Mexican partner, negotiated and signed a few years ago. But it doesn't have to be this way. As President John F. Kennedy said many years ago, geography has made us neighbors, history has made us friends, economics has made us partners, and necessity has made us allies. That rang true for many decades prior to President Kennedy's time in office, and in the decades since. From the beaches of Normandy to the mountains of the Korean Peninsula, from the fields of Flanders to the streets of Kandahar, we have fought and died alongside you. During your darkest hours, during the Iranian hostage crisis, those 444 days we worked around the clock from our embassy to get your innocent compatriots home. During the summer of 2005, when Hurricane Katrina ravaged your great city of New Orleans, or mere weeks ago, when we sent water bombers to tackle the wildfires in California. During the day the world stood still. September 11th, 2001, when we provided refuge to stranded passengers and planes, we were always there, standing with you, grieving with you, the American people. Together, we've built the most successful economic, military, and security partnership the world has ever seen. A relationship that has been the envy of the world. Yes, we've had our differences in the past, but we've always found a way to get past them. As I've said before, if President Trump wants to usher in a new golden age for the United States, the better path is to partner with Canada, not to punish us.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna stop it right there. You can watch the whole video on your own time, but you see the sentiment, all right? America's allies are, looking at America with a side eye, in these last days, all right? Because it's all prophecy. Now, let's get, one more precept and we'll close it. All right, I had to bring this one. Revelation 17 and verse 16, all right? The 10 horns are mentioned again. And the 10 horns, all right, which represent, America's allies, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shalt hate the whore. The whore is America. All right. You see, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. What kind of fire? Nuclear fire. All right. That's the end result of what's going on, man. America is straining its relationships with its own allies, man, worldwide. So, eventually, according to prophecy, these other nations, including Russia, China, and even, like I said, America's closest allies are going to turn against the whore and burn her with fire. And that's the end of Esau's rulership. That's the end of America, Babylon the Great. And in the midst of that, Yahweh Shah is going to return and deliver his elect and establish the kingdom. Okay? So, hey, call Allah Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Everything is happening very fast according to prophecy, man. So the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Repent, Israel. I'm gonna stop right there. Call Allah Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Call me Asheral in the Bible bar. Shalom.